Hi, it's Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. I'm at the Chicago Botanic Gardens. I am looking for venues that are more interesting because one of my loyal watchers, Jerome Yanoff, said, "You know what? You're pretty good at this, but what about the drab backgrounds?" But I also happen to be here not just for a better background, but because I had the thrill of being at a naturalization ceremony. 126 people from 40 different countries today were sworn in as citizens of the United States. I brought along with me the naturalization papers, the certificate from my father, who in 1915, at a very young age, he was 9 years old, became a citizen of the United States with his brothers and his mother and father. I got all choked up at this ceremony because I told them this is what America looks like. Look around the room from all these different countries wearing different garb and representing all these different countries, all different colors and races and religions. It was just amazing. And it was a real joy to be there and to be able to congratulate these new citizens to the United States. In addition, I wanted to talk to you about what's going on in impeachment. I can hardly keep up, but I know that two Giuliani associates now were arrested for arranging for foreign governments, for foreign nationals to contribute illegally to the Trump campaign, to the Trump efforts. These are Federal Election Commission violations. We have to stay tuned probably, like every hour to figure out what else is happening. So also, what is going on right now in Syria? The Kurds have been our close allies. They've been working hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder with American troops in northern Syria. And thanks to Donald Trump, he gave a green light to President Erdogan from Turkey to move in and actually slaughter some of the Kurds. And so we know that this is happening right now. I don't know at this hour how many casualties there are, how many people have been killed as a result of this. They did the dirty work, the Kurds did, of getting rid of ISIS, of the work that the United States troops were doing alongside of them, but really relying on them. Who in this world, what country can rely on the United States of America to be an honest partner? Unclear at this time. The other thing is this week, yesterday, of course, was the holiest day in the Jewish religion, the day of Atonement, Yom Kippur, where I spent most of my day actually in my neighborhood synagogue, Beth Emet in Evanston, where I live. But the day before that, I was a waitress. I was waiting some tables at Wishbone Restaurant in downtown Chicago. And the point of it was to show that we have to get rid of what is called the tip wage, the sub-minimum wage that is given to workers in certainly in restaurants, where about 80% of the workers are women. Most are women of color, and many are single moms. And the tip wage nationally is $2.13. And supposedly the tips are supposed to bring you up to the minimum wage. Well, fortunately, in the House of Representatives, we were able to pass legislation that raised the minimum wage to $15 and got rid of that sub-minimum tip wage. So there's a bill in Chicago to do the same in the city council. An ordinance is under consideration. So I was there acting as a waitress, trying to actually be a waitress. I wasn't that good at it. I forgot to ask them if they wanted drinks first, and they were not that thrilled with my being a waitress. Fortunately, one of the other staff at Wishbone helped me along and made sure that they got what they wanted. But we wanted to make that point that it is an unfair wage and it leads to tremendous amounts of sexual harassment and abuse. Imagine yourself, you're waiting a table, you're a woman, you rely on these tips in order to put food on your own table. And, they're kind of in their cups, had a few drinks, and one of them starts to touch you in unwanted ways. You start thinking, what am I going to do? I need this tip badly? Am I going to stop him? Am I going to tell him to take his hands off? Am I going to risk my tip? So women are called names, they're abused, they're handled, they're touched as waitresses. And if you are going to go to your boss and say, I didn't make up to the minimum wage, now it's a negotiation. And what are the items that are going to be on the table? We found in the Obama administration that 80% of restaurant owners or managers did not bring people up to the minimum wage of their staff. And so you might end up negotiating, who knows, they may ask for sexual favors. It's a very bad thing that women in the business, they call the National Restaurant Association, sometimes it's called the other NRA, for opposing getting rid of the tip wage, although there are some wonderful employers like at Wishbone Restaurant, but many others that understand that they need to pay a decent wage and get rid of the tip wage as well. So let's see if there was anything else that my staff sent me to talk about. I think I covered it for this week, and I will see you next week, and who knows what that venue will be. I hope you're watching Jerome Yanoff. Bye.
Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, where my handle is @Jan Schakowsky.